What's up, man? You guys let me know if my audio and video is straight. I'm sitting here in a parking lot here. My wife is at a concert. I'm doing good. Hey, Jamaica's in the house. Sounds good? All right. So I'm in my wife is at a concert right here. Denmark. Wow, that's so cool. She's at a concert with my daughter, and I got time to kill here. I didn't want to go in there. It was a birthday present for my daughter. We got her some tickets to this R&B concert, but I couldn't even tell you who it was. I said I'll drive you guys because it's down here in Chicago, so I drove them. Now I'm just waiting. Be here for a minute. My merch is my father's business is my organization. I got a link. I'm trying to set up um putting these out so people can wear them. They're all over my city. But I'll get that out as soon as I can. I would appreciate all the money that we raise selling these and giving these out is goes towards my nonprofit. So I'm doing good. Doing good. No entiendes inglés? My Spanish is not very good. Uh, it's it's bad at best. I would survive. I wouldn't starve if I had only speak Spanish, but it's not very good. It's like my dancing. If I suck at something, I really don't do it very often. So yeah, I'm over here in Chi-Town. I'm around the south side here. Uh, oh, you have a gift for me? Yeah, I'll be at the school now. Just they'll put you through to my voicemail, or you can email me. You know what's funny on here? People more from cops like you. I appreciate that, man. I'll take some questions and I'm just here to chat, man. I love you guys and I really appreciate your support, man. Putting the word out there and just being positive and trying to have a voice. Fresno, California is in here. Man, the death toll in Chicago, it's a sad one to talk about in the general area. We call our see, I'm from up north, which is north of Chicago. They call it I'm not in the city. My mom's actually from in the city, but they call it Chicago land. So Chicago there's a ton of people right here, but then it spreads out. And the suburbs around is called Chicago land, and they're like little mini cities that are connected. I'm from one that's well north of here, so most of my uh, most of my city is well, a lot of my city is Chicago transplants. Because when a lot of them moved to Zion, Waukegan, North Chicago is those are neighboring cities. So I wanted to talk about you guys ever read some of these comments from these trolls on here? Like they get on there and just have nothing better to do but just leave these ridiculously hateful comments on my stuff. I get a kick out of that. I think it's actually hilarious. Sometimes I'll scroll and just look to see who trolled. They'll talk about like if my wife has a video, they'll call her names. They'll talk about me. They'll say the most horrible things, but little do they know, I think it's hilarious. I just scrolled. I was like, man, how angry are some people? It's like a morbid sense of humor, I guess I got, but it's pretty funny, man. Some of these dudes, I just keep scrolling sometimes just to look for them. It's like, wow. I don't ever respond to them, but I never had a problem with CO street cops. This next generation doesn't even have. Yeah, the generations are getting worse by the day. I don't block or erase trolls. I think YouTube does a good job of vetting them. Some of the comments disappear. I remove some. I mean, if you say something so bad, like so disrespectful about my wife or something, I just remove it. But I don't ever respond to. I don't need to block them. I'm so technologically stupid. I probably don't even know how to block them. I appreciate, man. Mr. P, I appreciate that, man. Um, I get a lot of that. A lot of people that have a negative connotation of cops, and it just means a lot to me that you would think that I was at least a decent one. That's pretty cool. Oh, I never pay attention to them. I just 18 wheels and said I don't pay attention to trolls very much. I just think it's funny. Like man, I I don't know if there's really a lower somebody that puts themselves in a lower spot. That all they have to do is just get on a typewriter or a keyboard and then type something hateful. Like it's I guess it's their only voice. Maybe they feel a little bit of power, a little bit of voice when they do it. I love how Charles Barkley, that's one of my favorite people on earth, is those foreign that show that NBA on TNT, Charles and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. But man, when Charles goes in on them trolls, it is hilarious. You got to watch some of their videos. He has some of the funniest stuff to say about the trolls, man. Yeah, I don't know how do they control or delete it. I wish they would. Or I think YouTube does a good job. I'm on TikTok too, but I think TikTok is not. I'm really not really into that anymore. I do it. My wife is big on that, but I just do that once in a while. YouTube is I think there's a lot more authentic people on YouTube, and I think that YouTube is not a bunch of. I believe TikTok is a bunch of bots. I don't even believe that's really authentic. Most all of that. South Africa? Oh my gosh, Jennifer. God bless you from South Africa. That's a ways away. What's up, bro? Ryan, how you doing, brother? Best part about comments like that is there's still algorithm. Yeah, I guess you can look at it. My wife always says that it's like, hey, they're giving you what does she call it? Traffic. They're giving you traffic on your posts. And I guess. Yeah, that's what grandma's cooking. That's true. You can't say something nice. Don't say. That's why I don't respond to them. They're just funny. Do I like ice cream? Oh, I would love it. That's why I got to stay away from it because if I eat one cup, I'll eat a whole bowl or like 10 bowls of it. Constitution activist. I appreciate that too, Ryan. I mean, I like that's I have no say. Like the Constitution is what our forefathers wrote to found this country, and I swore an oath to uphold it, and you have to take that very seriously. I don't play loose and fast with any of that stuff. Constitution is it's what makes this country roll, man. It's what checks. It keeps government in check. That's why that's why it was designed to keep government in check. And as me as an agent of government, it governs over me and it shows me and tells me, orders me how to do my job. And how people cannot take that seriously or not know it is kind of crazy. Hello from Denver. I've been to Denver, man. I went to Denver maybe 5 or 6 years ago. We flew in there and then we drove to Aspen. That Independence Pass is one of the craziest car rides you'll ever take. Long Island, yeah, that's Sean, my guy, man. Tell him I said what's up if you're on there. I appreciate it, zombie enforcement. Oh, I have seen you. Thank you for that, man. I I get these prompts. I get a lot of prompts on my page, and I'm not technologically very savvy. So I know the name, Zombie Entertainment. I see that you tag me or share some of my stuff, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It really does. It makes me smile. I really, really appreciate you, brother. For roaches? Recently incarcerated for roaches? Ooh, that's legal here in that's decriminalized here in my state. That's kind of crazy. Have a good weekend too, Shannon. I appreciate that. Brooklyn, New York. I got one of my old bosses went from Brooklyn over there. Big Yankees fan over there. Purpose Powerhouse. I appreciate you. My wife, yeah, she's great. Man, they think that I have energy. That woman, she is something else. She's probably dancing. She's probably tearing that concert up as we speak. Love you right back, Zulu. I appreciate that. Man, that's a great question. We can start with that. Why are they not teaching de-escalation? See, when I was trained, I don't know if it's a mixture. It's training, and a lot of it is just this ego-driven attitude that cops will have. It's almost like they they have to win or they have to feel powerful, have to have control. They have to get the win, like somehow in their own head on a call. Like they if you are talking to them equal, a lot of cops that's not good enough for them. They have to have this upper hand, which is not the way it's supposed to be. Well, the way I was raised, you give respect, you get respect. So I don't talk to anybody like I'm above them. And of course, if you have to arrest somebody, you have handcuffs. You can take them to jail. You can take it if lawfully, if it's a lawful reason, you can arrest. That's all the power that you need. You don't have to have some type of moral, some higher egotistical authority where you just get to talk down to people. That's my biggest turnoff. And that's what made me hate cops growing up. Just cops talking to you however they want to. And all it does is escalate. I mean, you can pick as many fights as you want in this job if you're an idiot. Um, because there's so much. there's so many I mean you can have an altercation on every call you go to because you're going to somebody who is potentially breaking the law. But the key is to be a professional de-escalator and just be calm and cool. Like I don't understand why there's so much of that. I think a lot of it is ego driven. I really do. They just a lot of guys, sadly, that they get this job for the power, and they like that feeling of somehow feeling above somebody, and that makes them have to escalate it because they can't take the loss. Like if someone's running their mouth, okay, it's okay. They can say what they want, but we are paid professionals, so you're trained. You should be trained to just let it go and just off your shoulder. You never let anybody get you emotional. That's part of being a professional. How's my connection? They said it was poor. Zion never take recruits with no experience. They'll all you need is a diploma. And we'll take a look at anybody. How's my connection? Is it any good right now? I don't want to have a bad connection up here, be babbling like a moron. It's good. All right. Yeah, I would think Shannon. People with egos like that, they should be able to be weeded out. Like it's you're on and there's so much background that goes into hiring people. They should be able to weed them out. And I put that on the FTOs. FTOs, really, when you get trained as an officer, you kind of are shown how to do the job. You get trained at the academy, um, which I have a dream of maybe one day showing them, getting involved in some sort of ethical training at the academy because we literally got none. But once you get out of there, you come on the road, and then you're shown, you're one on one, you're riding with this person, your FTO, for months, and they're showing you how to do this job. And if that person is poison, if that FTO is a tough guy or a bully or talks to people the way they want to talk to people, they're showing you that that's okay and that's the way we do it. When I was an FTO, I would just like say, no, we don't do it. And I called it, apologize for my language, but I was very blunt about it. I called it cop shit. I said, we don't do that dumb cop shit. Like, we don't talk down to people. We respect everybody. We're public servants. We work for the people. I made that very clear. Like we don't act like that, and don't let me catch you acting like that. So that's where the FTOs come into play, and that's I've seen some horrible ones over the years, and sadly, that's to me that's where it starts. That's their first introduction. That's who baptizes you into the job. I hope, yeah, I've gotten a lot of the Proud American. That's a good question. The YouTube channel has made other cops better at the job. I get a lot of inboxes all the time from fellow officers thanking me and saying, "Yeah, I'm going to take that approach." I've actually had a couple really, really inspirational messages from officers who said that they hated me when they started when I started speaking out against ways, but then they realized where my heart was, and to see them turn around and now they love me. They asked for my forgiveness, and of course I forgive you. And they said that they're taking my approach, which and I know that's why I know that it's effective because it really is. I do get a lot of messages about that. And I feel I'm a veteran. I've been here for I'm almost been 19 years in. So I've been here for a long time. So I got some say. That's what I say. And I've worked every type of crime, and it's not like I work in Mayberry. It's for anything but Mayberry where I'm from and where I work. So I'm very experienced, and I know what I'm talking about. I know how to deal with people, and I think I have I can my experience pull some weight. Drinking on the bar on duty. That's just shameful. That's just shameful. Those are those shameful acts that these guys with these god complexes think they can do anything. Then Blue Line Soldier, what's up, man? Peace. It's good. Thank you, thank you. Great job up there. Does the GED get you it? Yeah, I always tell people that. Nita Jean, I appreciate your question. All I had was high school diploma. I was a terrible student. I never went to college. That's why I like when I teach classes to other cops, I say I'm unlikely, most unlikely cop you know, because I never went to the military. My GPA was, I don't even want to say it out loud, but I barely passed high school. Never went to a day of college. Didn't even take an ACT test. So I had no aspirations of anything. I hated police when I graduated high school. How I got in, I didn't get in until I was older. Never aspired to. I just saw it as a cool job that I knew I thought I could be pretty good at. Matter of fact, I had a criminal record. When I was 21, I got caught with a pistol. That's a well documented story. That's why the those good old boys didn't want me. They were mad when I got hired as an officer because a lot of them had known me or dealt with me because I wasn't the nicest kid. Um, but yeah, I was charged with a felony when I was 21, but that luckily that got dropped down to a misdemeanor. So I was technically not a felon. It was still on my record. I still had to answer to it, and I still got dropped from the first department I tried because of my background. But yeah, you a lot of departments all you need is a GED or a diploma. And I think that people like these people that have this squeaky clean past that never dealt with anything really in their lives, that just went to college and they're young and aspiring, never even got a traffic ticket. I think, in my opinion, they don't make good cops. I think someone that has been on the other side, who got into some trouble, who understands both sides, and won't judge people for making mistakes. I don't judge anybody because I made some. I couldn't tell you how many mistakes I made when I was a kid, and a young man, and a very hateful. I had a lot of friends that the people that mentored me. A lot of them were criminals growing up. A lot of people in my family, a lot of my best friends. I tell that story all the time, so I understand, and I don't judge anybody. I think that's what makes the best cop. Someone who don't judge nobody. Someone who knows what it's like to stand in front of a judge. That sucked. Oh my gosh, in an orange jumpsuit, standing in front of a judge. I know what that feels like. Yeah, cops like Amanda Hendricks. I agree. When there's an incident, they shouldn't be the ones. It should be an outside agency that investigates any wrongdoing or anything that goes along those lines. Personality test, Shannon, is not a personality test. There's a psychological test, which I have a huge issue with, simply because that test is hit or miss. And I know some solid dudes that I've known since they were young children that have applied for this job and they don't get it because of some weird psych test. That I remember taking it, and it's just bizarre. It's just a bizarre test that really doesn't tell you much about anything. Um, I don't like that psych test. I'm not an expert on it. I've seen people that I know would make good cops. They pass everything, but then they go to the psych test and then they drop it. And I see my bosses, they're all disappointed. Like, man, that psych test took them out. Because if you fail it, you can't work there. But you can take it again, and maybe you'll pass it the next time. It's just such a hit or miss test. Let's see this right here. I appreciate you, man. Them Blue Line Soldier, I appreciate it, man. Like you're my brother in Christ. My approach, I appreciate that. It's just something that I believe is God gave us power, so He expects us to be responsible and loving with that power. Have I ever been in a shootout? I have not. I've been there. We've had numerous officer involved shootings since I've been there in my little city. I've gotten there right after one. I was not involved. I didn't hear the bullets fly. They shot at me twice. One time, we ended up chasing a guy after he did it. Didn't hit me. I was still in my squad. Terrible shot. You can't really hit nothing when you're shooting sideways. So it missed me. Kind of like maybe it woke me up. Then we chased him, and that was that. I believe he got away. I remember getting chasing him on foot, but I don't think we caught him. And then another time they shot at my squad. Um, that was close. That one scared me too. It startled me, the sound, because it was so close. When you hear gun pops and you can feel it in your chest, you know that's close. Yes, I agree. Need to end this code of silence. That's like, I make it clear. I have no problem. You do wrong in front of me, I'll turn into a snitch on another cop. Don't do that crap in front of me. Don't do people in front of me. You're not going to. I'm not gonna allow it. Grandma's cooking. I appreciate that. Um, That means a lot to me. Yeah, the blue line. I mean, I made a video about that. I don't like any line in general. I know it just depends on the origination of it has a. I know it originated meaning something, but people just I just don't like the idea of any line. Um, and it's not just not to knock anybody or say because you can disagree and I still love you. But I want no line. A line equals divide to me. I want to bring people together. My goal in life is just to unite and have some conversations. I've sat down with people that hated cops that wanted to um, and it's good to hear them out. We don't do enough listening. There's too much head butting in the society today. There's not enough listening, sitting down or breaking bread. I mean, we can disagree about a lot of things, and then I'll still let's go eat. Let's break bread. I'm still cool with you. You're a fellow human. I still just because we disagree don't mean I can't care about you, and we can respectfully still respect each other. Let's see, Big Shane Gillis. Yeah, I appreciate that. I just think for myself, and that's who I was raised, and I got to be real. I can't. I don't like phony. That's one thing I have a huge issue with is phoniness. I don't like phony. That's why when I hear stuff, everyone just taking a side that these cliches that there's only a few bad apples and it's this. No, it's not. Why are there? Why are there any bad apples? Why? I don't get it. Get rid of them. If you see one, get rid of them, and they shouldn't even exist because a bad apple it spoils the whole batch. It should not be any of them. If there's a bad apple and I see him in my PD, I'm gonna go right to the. If I gotta go to the mayor, why is he here? The best ministers have a testimony as well. Yeah, I got quite a bit of a testimony. I just lived a long life and I've had a kind of an interesting life. I actually consider myself very lucky. God saved me, and even when I didn't deserve it, He gave me grace. So I guess that starts my journey. I talk about that one of these days on here, man. What I went through the first few years of my career. It's pretty rough. Let's see, a lot of comments here. Yeah, killer watch. Yeah, you can't shoot much sideways. Yep, gotta honor the oath. Appreciate that. Sean Little, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. You won't see me with that. JSPF. I appreciate that, brother. So, what's everyone doing tonight? Are you guys anything interesting going on? Grace and mercy every time. Yep, that's what you got to give. I feel that you just be. How do you feel about jujitsu training for officers? That's a good question. Um, it shouldn't be the first thing that you have in mind. I mean, back when I started, I remember it was like the biggest tough guy. Maybe everyone respected him as a great officer. My job is to avoid conflict, but have the tools in the toolbox if you have to. I've gotten in. If you de-escalate properly, you shouldn't have to get in that many tussles. I've been in quite a few, but I've never hurt nobody. Didn't want to hurt nobody. Just wanted to get their hands behind their back to arrest them. You don't have to do extra, and if you do extra, then you should be punished for it. And yes, I have been in depositions and testified against cops that did extra. I have no qualms in saying that. Oh, it's raining in Baltimore. It's a little rainy here in Chicago. Spending time with my dog. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Your dog's on his last days. Dogs are like a part of the family, man. I have one of my chihuahuas died, and don't nobody make fun of me because I got chihuahuas. I love my chihuahuas. She died a couple years back. I cried for weeks. You don't answer questions, Ryan. That's actually if I was to teach a class on how to approach, yeah, that is your right. And I don't like when you see this a lot too, that will like bother a cop. Like, so that people will say, "Well, I don't answer questions." Like it like gets under their skin, or they get all triggered by it. It's like that's your right. That's your right. You don't have to answer questions if you don't want to. That's your constitutional right. So why would I be bothered by that? Someone said that it just happened to me a couple of days ago. Some lady, it was a small investigation I did, and she was kind of like a witness. And I asked her, I just asked her for her if she minded giving me her date of birth so I can write it on this report that I was typing. And she didn't like that. And she said, "No, why would I do that?" And I was like, "No, it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm not. You're not gonna make me mad. So that's your right. You don't have to give it. It was just a request." And then I just moved on with the conversation. There's nothing that should really. But I see a lot of cops that get so bothered, and they think that somehow this person is being combative or being disrespectful. No, they don't. They don't have to give you that information. They don't have to talk to you if they don't want to, and that's fine. Yeah, that happens when I just lost that comment. Uh, SJG Avenger. I noticed that after my brother became a CO, after about 10 years, he started to really get a bad attitude. That is very common. That needs to be nipped in the bud by bosses and by veterans in this business, because a lot of it is when you take this attitude that everyone is against me, and now it's a war. It's us against them, or I'm tired of butting heads with people, and therefore I hate all people. That's a brain that's your brain, and that's so common in law enforcement. That needs to be nipped in the bud. They need to get him somebody to talk to. They need to have better training, better debriefs, and keep better tabs on that. Because if you start noticing, that's how you go down this long dark path. When you start hating everybody, and pretty soon you start hating life, and then you take it out on people. You get negative, you get cynical. Um, that's where that's where bad things happen in this job. You have to find a way, no matter whether it's therapy, no matter whether it's a checklist that you do. I mean, Lord knows we got a checklist for everything in this freaking job. Um, Checklist for your mental well being. There should be to me. There should be monthly, some sort of quarterly, monthly, whatever you have it, checkup on people's mental well being, and they should talk to family too. They should go like they should go to officers' houses, talk to their family. Hey, is his attitude this? How's he doing? You don't have to do it in a negative light. Just a mental well being checkup. I'm gonna go talk to his wife. How's his attitude been? Is he dark? Does he come home? Does he drink a lot? Is he distant? I mean, you have to check on this stuff. Because yes, suicide and depression is a big problem in our industry. That's one thing that makes me really angry because nobody ever told me about that when I got this job. It took me 12 years into my career to find out that more officers die from suicide than they do from street violence. And we focus on all this attention on physical training, shooting training, tasing training, handcuff training, tactical training, all for our body. But they don't cover nothing for your mind, which kills us more than anything. Our own mind kills us more than anything in this job. Yeah, my dad was a firefighter back in the 60s. He said some of the fires got to him mentally and emotionally. Yeah, you see, I mean, people ask me about, my wife will ask me sometimes, and she'll immediately change the subject. She'll ask me about some cases. And there's things in my mind, like I couldn't tell you how many people I've seen die in front of me. I lost count a long time ago. But there's some things that you need to get out of your system. You need to talk about this stuff, and I'm huge on that when it comes to the darkness in this industry. And I think that's one thing we're lacking. And then what do? It all builds up in your mind. You end up taking that on the citizens. My big thing is, and I'm a Bible believer. I'm always say this. Don't get mad at me. If you disagree with me, I still love you. But Scripture says that Satan operates in the dark, and if you bring it to the light, it loses its power. So you just talk about this